Welcome to episode 2 on ISQ. Another type of wall loss is erosion. Let's talk about that guy. Okay, so erosion kind of does this swooping signal, right? So it's more like I tell the students to imagine, someone out in front of a choir doing this. I don't believe it's a orchestra, whatever, doing that. Sorry, I'm not very robust and all of those. I've never been to a symphony, damn it. No, I'm kidding. So, you see this swoop, right? And that's because you're going from one side to the next, right? So you see that swoop. And then, with erosion, if you were to travel down one side, you'll get one signal characteristic, which is basically the signal doing this, getting shorter, and then going back the other way doing that. And then when you go across it vertically, it'll do that swoop, right? So we're going to take a look at that right now. Okay. So here's what this guy kind of looks like. Take a look at it. Okay. Right, remember we talked about always setting a reference level in the first video. Okay, here's our guy. We're going to try to follow him the best I can. No, officer, I can drive a straight line. No, I'm sorry. So, trying to follow him. He kind of goes off to a curve. There we go. You see the slow deterioration in the walk back, shorter sound path, right? And then we're going to pay attention to that swoop, right? Slow rumble, right? We're going to see it a little bit better. This one's it's very narrow in the width of it, so we don't really see it that much. But I'm looking for it to do something like that. Okay. All right, but we did see it kind of slowly deteriorate to the left, grow back, and then kind of do a swoop. Let's see if we can find something that's a little more pronounced, right? And then you can start looking for that kind of subtle change. It's easier to see something that's very big, right? All right, so we actually landed right on the erosion. Okay, we're gonna bring him back. Let me see if I can, there we go. This whole area here. Kind of a gradual decrease. I'm going to crank up some gains so we can see this guy. Gradual decrease. Right. And then when I go across him, you'll see that swoop we were talking about. So different signal characteristics. This is a 1/4 inch plate, right? Going across the width, we see that swoop type signal, and then going left to right, we see a gradual increase or decrease. Another example. Okay, see a swoop type signal. We're going to bring it down a little bit. Okay, see that swoop? Right? And then left to right. Sorry, guys. Totally different signal characteristics. It's slowly increasing. Okay, and again, swoop. So that's erosion. Okay. Remember, lamination has the same signal characteristic no matter how you scan it. Okay, no matter how you scan it. And this is me going in 2 directions. Well, Theo, what about a thick plate? All right, here's thick. Okay, can't get bigger than that. Okay, yes, I grunted, I'm old. So, let's go ahead, check this guy out. Change the range so we can see something. You see a swoop here, but the signal isn't pronounced because of how thick it is. And then let's bring that delay on. So we can see a little bit of a swoop. Thicker, it's a little harder to see, but we can. First back wall, second back wall, mode converted shear waves. If you're not familiar with that, make sure you go watch Paul Holloway's video on round mound of sound, okay? Does an excellent job explaining that. And then here, again, right, and we have that indication, that erosion signal. Okay, last one on erosion. Again, a swoop. See the swoop? And then gradual increase, different signal characteristics in two different directions. So going across it, following it. Different signal characteristics, guys. That's erosion. Okay?